Hello and welcome again to Maker.do Academy. Now, we'll begin with the second module of this course, Introduction to the Web Design Industry. Let's begin with some numbers. In the world, there are more than 200 million very small businesses, and by very small, we refer to businesses controlled by their owners, so it's very easy to reach them. 52% of them do not have a website and plans to have one in the short term, and a big majority of the remainder of businesses plans to renew their website in the medium term. We're talking of an industry that moves more than $30 billion a year. And how these businesses currently do their websites? Mainly through freelancers or web designers, agencies, and also through do-it-yourself solutions. However, it's important to know that more than 70% of them prefer the first and second options, and less than 5% prefers to take the do-it-yourself route. People prefer that someone else does their website, not themselves. So, we'll focus this module in the first two, freelancers or web designers and agencies.
So to begin, let's see how these designers or agencies work. Usually, web designers acquire a template. This template is a folder or website that has several HTML and CSS files inside. Then the designer opens the documents in a text editor and has to start editing the HTML code. This can take several days. Once done, the designer must install the website in the hosting that the customer purchases. This is done using a FTP connection. It can be a pretty cumbersome process. Then the designer has to install WordPress or a similar CMS so the customers can manage their sites themselves in the future. In practice, everything sounds good, but then designers face several challenges. It's a tiresome process. Designers lose time editing. Designers lose time installing because every hosting is different, and WordPress also uses PHP, an advanced programming language. Designers also require HTML and CSS knowledge. They also require server configuration skills in most cases. And do-it-yourself solutions are not friendly for resale. For this reason, it's a market that only a few can sell to. In the next module, we'll show you how to create websites using the Maker.do tool, so you don't have to do any of these complicated steps. And how is the process of selling a website? Clients come to the designer asking for them to build a website. The designer charges a fixed design fee for the initial website design and is the owner of the business who is responsible for purchasing their domain and a hosting account. This hosting can be paid either yearly or monthly, and it's the designer that guides them through the purchase process. The client pays the designer the 50% upfront, and then the designer starts working on the website. After some days, the designer delivers the site to their customer and must install it in the hosting and connect the domain and configure the initial mail accounts. Finally, the customer pays the remainder 50% and the website is online. And how much is charged in the web design industry? It always depends on the type of customers that you are looking for. Some designers focus on creating websites for entrepreneurs that are starting or small businesses. They tend to charge from $300 to $1,000 for the initial web design. Other designers focus in a niche, like lawyers, clinics, or medium-sized businesses. In that niche, they regularly charge from $1,000 to $2,000. And another small group of designers focus in creating informative websites for big customers like enterprises. They can charge up to $10,000 and even more. Please note that in this course, we're only focusing on informative websites. We don't consider e-commerce websites as they are covered in another lesson. The majority of the market is between the first and second group. For this reason, this is where most freelancers focus. We recommend you to also start here. Some freelancers work from home and even travel the world financing themselves creating websites. Other designers start hiring more people as their demand grows so they can build more and more websites. This is when a web agency is born. For this reason, web design industry is known for being a lucrative business that gives freedom to people who are part of it.
In the next module, you will learn how to create websites without any coding experience. And then in the next modules, you will learn how to sell them so you can become a freelancer or be your own web design agency.